सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So we are doing chapter 7. Together we'll chant the verses 21 to 30. I believe you all are going to play it, right?
No, Janki ji, today we'll have to chant it.
Okay, fine. यो यो यां यां तनुं भक्तः श्रद्धयार्चितुमिच्छति तस्य तस्याचलां श्रद्धां तामेव विदधाम्यहम् सतया श्रद्धया युक्तः तस्याराधनमीहते लभते च ततः कामान् मयैव विहितान् हितान् अन्तवत्तु फलं तेषां तद्भवत्यल्पमेधसां देवान् देवयजो यान्ति मद्भक्ता यान्ति मामपि अव्यक्तं व्यक्तिमापन्नं मन्यन्ते मामबुद्धयः परं भावमजानन्तः ममाव्ययमुत्तमम् नाहं प्रकाशः सर्वस्य योगमाया समावृतः मूढोऽयं नाभिजानाति लोको मामजमव्ययम् वेदाहं समतीतानि वर्तमानानि चार्जुन भविष्याणि च भूतानि मां तु वेद न कश्चन इच्छाद्वेषसमुत्थेन द्वन्द्वमोहेन भारत सर्वभूतानि सम्मोहं सर्गे यान्ति परन्तप येषां त्वन्तगतं पापं जनानां पुण्यकर्मणां ते द्वन्द्वमोहनिर्मुक्ताः भजन्ते मां दृढव्रताः जरामरणमोक्षाय मामाश्रित्य यतन्ति ये ते ब्रह्म तद्विदुः कृत्स्नम् अध्यात्मं कर्म चाखिलम् साधिभूताधिदैवं मां साधियज्ञं च ये विदुः प्रयाणकालेऽपि च मां ते विदुर्युक्तचेतसः Does anybody have any questions before we start? Okay, all good today? Right, so we have been... Anyone has something? Okay. So we have been studying about how the deluded seek and gain finite fruit. We are all working hard. Every one of us is putting in our effort to obtain whatever it is we want. Now, have we ever stopped to find out whether what this thing that I am working so hard to get, is it really worth my time and effort? Have I asked myself this question? Because if I don't ask myself this question, what will happen? I will work for a long period of time, maybe many years. I put in a lot of sweat and toil and tears. Now put all this in and then get something which I will then feel was not worth the effort. I don't want that situation in my life, do I? So, before I start off on this pursuit, I must understand the various things there are in the world to obtain and what is the consequence of obtaining those things. What is the consequence of working for those things? And then what is the consequence of obtaining those things? So all these things that are in this world can be divided broadly into two things. Two things are available to us. Broadly speaking, okay, just to make a classification. What are those two things available to us? One thing which is available to us is the finite. Finite means something that will end. That's one thing available to us. What is the other thing available to us? The infinite. What's the infinite? Something that will not end. The two things. There's the finite, there's the infinite. Now, if you choose to pursue something which is finite, par for the course, par of the terrain, is the finite thing by its nature will come to an end. Do we get this? A finite thing by its own nature will come to an end. What Vairagya Shatakam says, either the object will leave you or you will leave the object. These are the only two possibilities over here. But that relationship has to come to an end, and that's a given. It may be your best friend, it may be your spouse, it may be your parent, it may be your money, it may be your possessions, it may be your health, it may be your, I don't know, anything, your knowledge, anything. That the separation will come is a given. The only question is, will it be because you left it, or will it be because that left you? That's your only question. So this whole world of pursuing something finite has to end in separation of some kind. But the world of pursuing the infinite, now there's no separation ever going to take place. So now you have to decide for yourself what you want. Some people will say, oh my God, I can't even imagine working for the infinite. I don't know how to do that. I can't even imagine it. I want finite things. You understand, finite things means anything from the world. So you want something from the world, whatever, relationship, love, marriage, children, grandchildren, college admission, whatever it is that you want. So some people will say, no, I can't imagine working for the infinite, I want something finite. Okay, fine. Please take it up. However, please understand this too, that even in the finite, there are things that end soon and there are things that take little longer to end. So it would be in our interest to stick with things that would be there for longer. The pleasure of a gulab jamun lasts for what? 5 minutes? The pleasure of health, if you had health, can take you a lifetime. So it makes sense for us to be able to distinguish between these things which are finite and infinite, and within the finite also which are going to end quickly and which are going to take a longer time. Okay, but please remember, if you choose to pursue the finite, don't start crying when the end comes because you chose it. Be willing to accept that. That's sensible, right? I chose to obtain something finite. It was finite. It did end. Now what am I crying for? So this can be true about anything and everything. So what does Krishna tell us in this topic from 20 to 25? He says the deluded seek finite fruit. That means if deluded means what? Our knowledge is not available to us. And we will seek something ending. I don't know if you saw the news program. There was something on the news the other day that some people had built their house at the edge of the sea on clay ground, and then there was some tide or whatever took place, the cyclone, and all those houses came crashing down. Now, when you chose to build your house in that place on clay, on moving clay, on unstable ground, what right do you have to cry when that house breaks? It's not that we are being unsympathetic. It's not that we are saying that that's so stupid of you, but we understand the pain, whatever a person will go through when he loses his house. But can't you also understand that you built that house there? Yes, it is very painful. Please understand that it's extremely painful to lose it. Especially things that you have worked a lot for, especially things that you have paid a high price for. It's very painful, but please understand it now. Understand the pain that will happen and understand that pain before the pain comes. That's where empathy with others counts, because when you can see what they are going through, you can feel what they are going through, then you can learn a lesson for your own life. So that's why there's a saying in the English language that says, fools learn from their own experience, wise learn from those of others. So when we can understand the pain of others, when we can see somebody has walked this path, we can see what this person got out of walking this path, should we not be sensible enough to feel sorry, of course, for the other person, but to turn our paths a different way? So, deluded seek and gain finite fruit. You understand the pain. It's not that you are negating somebody's pain, but only when we understand the pain, we will understand we have a better way of doing this. Is somebody trying to ask a question? Okay, so those deprived of... Yeah, Bharat, you want...
So by pursuing the infinite, you would have the perfect objectivity towards the finite things also, and you might actually enjoy them to the fullest, right?
Bharat, that will happen if you have obtained the infinite. You are saying, how can a person have perfect objectivity when he hasn't got the infinite? He hasn't found stable land as yet, so obviously he'll be on shaky ground. But yes, he will be in a better position than those who have not sought the infinite. But perfect objectivity is on realization. So he will enjoy the objects, definitely. He will be more objective towards those things, definitely. But you can't use the word perfect.
Okay.
Anyone else? Whoever has a question, please switch your video on so that I can see that your video is on, and you don't need to always stay, always wonder whether you can interrupt or not. Just switch your video on and I will know that you want to say something. Okay, that seems to be the the best way of doing it. Switch your video on whenever you have a question to ask or you have something to say. Use your discretion when you want to say something. Alright, so those deprived of wisdom, those who can't understand this, pursue other gods. So what is these other gods? Remember, the other gods are nothing but finite fruit. If you're pursuing Lakshmi, you're pursuing wealth. If you're pursuing Saraswati, you're pursuing knowledge. So all the other gods are nothing but other things in this world. So why are all these other things in the world called God? Because the great rishis told us that God is all pervading. So whatever you are seeking, you're actually seeking God. So they call everything God. They divinized everything. And that's the Indian culture. Everything here is divine. Even the Rakshasas are divine. They are also children of the gods. Everything is divine over here. Diseases are divine. They say Devi has come. So everything is divine over here. But we must be able to distinguish between these other gods and the transcendental reality. Means any fruit in this world versus the transcendental reality. So if we don't have the knowledge of the transcendental reality, we are bound to pursue other gods, means other ends in life, because of our various desires. Then we will take up the corresponding rites, which means whatever we need to reach that thing, and all this happens because of our own nature. So we'll take up certain actions based on the kind of person we are. And whatever you seek to worship with Shraddha, whichever of these objects you choose to worship with Shraddha, Shraddha is that capacity in us, the intellectual capacity in us to be able to take up something and stay with it till you become it. There is no difference between you and that thing. So when you take up something like that with Shraddha, remember in the 17th chapter, which we were studying on Friday, how he had said, a man is what his Shraddha is. So what we get in life is entirely dependent upon our Shraddha. Now don't please misunderstand Shraddha to mean going to Siddhivinayak and saying, oh God, give me this, give me this. This is one nonsense concept that has come into Indian spiritual and religious life, that somehow we should get everything free, that we are beggars, that we are always going to go and ask God for something. In fact, yesterday on Facebook, now I'm active on social media and all these online things, and I see what's going on, and I saw somebody had posted a video where some girls were criticizing some religious place because they said, we came here and all the priests are after us, pay us this, pay us this, pay us this. We've come to meet God and they're selling God. No, they're not. They can't sell God, and you can't go there to meet God. You can meet God in your own heart, right? You don't need to go to the temple. But when you do go there, there is cost that the temple has to take on, right? And the priests have to live. The whole concept in Indian culture has become so bad that we have to get everything free. We must get everything we want, and we must get it free. We must get it from the government, we must get it from God, we must get it from the priests. We must not pay the price for anything at all in this world. And this is how this crazy concepts have developed over here. As most of you know, I'm married to a Parsi person, and I see how the Parsis go about doing it. The Hindus all going to the temple saying that, oh, give me this, give me that, and I will give you nothing, of course. And the handi, I'll put 50 paisa, 1 rupee, something silly like that. And you know how the Parsis do it? They go to the Agyari with the intent of giving the priest enough money so that he will sustain himself. And you know what Parsis define as a poor Parsi? Is anyone familiar with this? No Parsis in the class? Can't see any Parsi name. So, well, you know what is a poor Parsi? Defined.
Yes, Janki it is 95,000 per month.
Correct, 90,000 a month. If you are earning less than 90,000 a month, you are considered a poor Parsi. The community will take care of you. Do you realize what is that? What is the attitude? And then we say, oh, the Parsis have done so well and they are, this and that. Obviously, look at their attitude and look at our attitude. Our attitude is like, give me everything, give it to me free. I will not pay for anything. And if you charge me, you're money minded. What? You're taking something from somebody and you're saying they are money minded? Weird. We have these weird concepts. So we do that in our life. We want to go to we say things like, this person is not charging money. He's very good, he's not charging money. What is that? So we are going to him like, we have this weird concept, or we say bad thing. Oh, he's only interested in making money. Why would he not be interested in making money? What's so bad in making money? To be poor is a crime. To be rich is not a crime. To have poverty in the country is a bad thing. To have all millionaires is not a bad thing. Great, we'd love to have this country full of millionaires. Why is making money a bad thing? So all the time our whole attitude is of gimme, 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 and I will give you nothing. This is our attitude. And when we come to religious life, that is our attitude. Gimme, 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 I will give you nothing. This kind of behavior will not make us achieve things. If you want to achieve anything in life, you better pay the price. Now, what is the price for achievement? Shraddha. So even when you say Shraddha, people converted in their mind to go to the temple and say, I believe in you, God, give it to me, I believe in you. What? God cares whether you believe in him or not? God cares whether you say, I am so devoted to you or not? Are you crazy? Like, what kind of concepts do we hold in our head? So, Shraddha is defined. We have this great culture where we've defined everything. It's a superb culture. We define it. We don't leave it to anybody's imagination. But nobody reads definition. So, Shraddha is defined. Shankaracharya has defined Shraddha. He says it is that intellectual capacity by which you take up a knowledge, you reflect upon it, you cogitate on it, you be with it until the knowledge in you become one. There's no difference. So that's what he's saying here, that whatever form a devotee seeks to worship with Shraddha. So if you take up something like that with the complete intention of paying the entire price that you have to pay for it, how can anyone stop you from getting that thing? You will get it. He says, I will make that Shraddha of yours unswerving. So, if you take it up with Shraddha, remember what is Shraddha? Your capacity to stick to something until you get it. And Krishna says, I will make your Shraddha unswerving. Now, he is a nutcut thing, this Krishna cannot be trusted like that. He is saying, I will make it unswerving. What is he going to do? If I have Shraddha, what is he going to do? So, it is a poetical way. What he's saying is true. You have to start with the assumption that what he's saying is true, right? So, if what he's saying is true, then we have to figure out now what is it supposed to mean. How can he be keeping my Shraddha consistent? And if he will keep my Shraddha consistent, why is he not keeping other people's Shraddha consistent? What's so great about me? Does he love me more than the others? Why does he love me more than the others? If he does love me more than the others, isn't there something wrong with this? No, God's love has to be universal. So why is he keeping my Shraddha consistent? And you'll come to the conclusion that no, he will not do anything for us. We have to do our own work. So then what is this supposed to mean, that he will keep the Shraddha consistent? Okay, so since we did this last time, I'm sure you know the answer. Who will answer the question? Switch on your video so that I can see you're going to answer. Hey, what is this? I expected to see 10 videos pop up. Not a single one has come up. What's going on? Have you all gone to sleep? Am I just talking to myself? You're there, right? 52 people, not one person. 52 plus 5, 57 people. Not one is switching his video on.
God is a Shraddha.
Huh? Switch on your video so that I can see you.
I can't. I am out of the town, so my internet is poor.
So who's this, Shilpa?
Yes.
Hari Om Shilpa. Okay, so tell me, why does he say he will keep our Shraddha consistent?
God is our Shraddha, so he will make sure that we stick to it. We will only stick to
Had
it.
you attended the class, Shilpa, last week?
Yes.
Okay, next time I meet you, you have to do 10 Uthak Baithaks. Anybody who answers wrong has to do 10 Uthak Baithaks.
May I try?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
The Vedic capacity within us to pursue the goal is the what you call supported by me.
No, but he's saying why? He's saying I will keep that Shraddha. You also, Shamji, 10 Uthak Baithaks. Aditi?
Then perhaps I have not understood the question.
Okay, the question is this. Shraddha means our capacity to stick consistently with something until we reach it. Okay? So if you have Shraddha, what does it mean that he will keep it consistent? Yes, Aditi. Aditi, you're muted. Aditi, you're still muted. We can't hear you. Still can't hear a word you're saying. If you're saying anything.
Yeah, Janki ji.
Yeah, Arun, just a second. Put on your videos. Anybody wants to say something, put on the video.
Yeah, Janki, I will also try.
Yes, okay. Let Aditi have her say. Aditi, you can't be heard. Okay, so who was next? Leena. Yeah, go ahead, Leena.
Ma'am, this is my first lecture with you, but I'm learning with Gaurav sir also. So
okay.
as you say, Krishna says that I will support you to maintain your Shraddha, because in each of us is Krishna. Brahman is in each of us. So it's from within us only that we have to support ourselves.
Okay, so Leena, that's a good interpretation, but it's not exactly what he means. However, since you didn't learn this last week, you get only 5 Uthak Baithaks to do. Okay. Priyanka. Priyanka?
Yes, Jankiji, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
I think in the text it's referred whenever there is use of I, and when there's saints and the knowledgeable use I, it means self. So when he's saying I will help you, he means you will help yourself. I mean, we ourselves are going to help ourselves.
Priyanka, 10 Uthak Baithaks for you. Preeti. You people watch out, okay? I'm going to increase it now. For everyone who gives a wrong answer, it's going to increase. So you people watch it. Go ahead.
What I understand is, if our Shraddha is sattvic, means selflessly we are pursuing something, some goal, then His grace will be with us. Effort will be ours, and His grace would help us to achieve that goal and be consistent.
Preeti, you'd been born 12 Uthak Baithaks. Omkar, yeah. Omkar, if you get it wrong, you're getting 20, okay? So be careful before you say anything.
Okay, let me try. The I he refers to is the self, and the self being infinite, unless you achieve the infinite, you cannot be satisfied. Which is why you will keep pursuing, because you are the infinite self, and unless you achieve that infinity, you cannot be satisfied, and hence it is not Krishna, the person who is pursuing you, but it's your own inherent infinity which makes you pursue the path.
Okay, you're pretty close. So you get only 3 Uthak Baithaks to do. Arun?
Okay. Yeah, Janki, I was.
Any old students who get it wrong, you're going to get more, okay?
Yeah, so Janki ji, you'll have to give me some grace because I wasn't in the class last Sunday.
Okay.
However, I will just make an attempt. Shraddha is for the goal, and the goal is I. So therefore, it's Krishna's way of saying in a poetic manner that if you have Shraddha, you reach the goal, and the goal is I. So it's my way of saying that I will support it.
No, sorry. 10,
No?
15 for you. You're a very old student. I should give you 20. Nope. And I'm going to tell your teacher also that you're not answering correctly, so he's not doing a good job. Okay, Manoj.
Hariam Nandini.
Hariam.
Yeah, so I was also not there in the last class, but based on my earlier classes, I am making attempt. So if we have Shraddha, I think by giving us the intellect, he will keep us on the path because we have the initial Shraddha. So by using our intellect, we will be consistently on it. And so we have if we will be consistently on it, we will be having a sattvic repeat, and that way we will be reaching our goal.
10 Uthak Baithaks, Manoj. Mithali. Mithali, if you get it wrong, you will get 20.
Okay, let me try. Lord says that knowledge and I are one. So when you're doing with Shraddha consistently and trying to achieve that in the end, that is the knowledge. So he is that knowledge. And that I, which is there, like what Omkar said, is the self within. Bees with you and when you're trying to achieve that goal of that knowledge or that I, which you are trying to look at, the self which you are trying to achieve, that is when Krishna is with you in the sense because that I is within you. And
20 Uthak Baithaks, Mithali. Purvi. Ashya, I'm coming to you. If you get it wrong, you're going to get 40. So be careful. Purvi, yeah. Purvi, you're muted. You have to unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. The self is I, as we all know about this self, which is I. So what Krishna is trying to say that this I is able to maintain the faith and the consistency of the goal, then that means he is always there with you.
Purvi, 20 Uthak Baithaks. Ashya. Now I'm not going to take any more because y'all, Sahadev also has raised his hand. Okay, come, Ashya. Only 2 more. 2 S's I'm going to take. Ashya.
Whatever guru we have said, whenever we work harder on it, it becomes deeper and deeper. So therefore it automatically gives the result.
Ashya, you're almost there like Omkar. So, okay, only 10 Uthak Baithaks for you, not too many. Yeah, Sahadev ji, bataiye.
Actually, the self will ensure that you get desires to achieve your goal. So he will provide you with enough desires.
No, sorry, now I'm not going to give you too many. Only 10 Uthak Baithaks for you, not too many. Sangeeta, you have gone off. Are you going to try? Don't tell me now I can't do Uthak Baithaks because I have a back condition. Because I'll give you something else then.
Yeah, I was also saying because of the consistency, he will help us. If we are consistent,
No.
he will be there with us.
No, you have to do shoulder exercises, 20 shoulder exercises. You can choose yours, whichever you want. How come nobody was listening to this class? I am wasting my time Sunday mornings.
Can I try, Janki, if you can hear me?
Wait, where are you? I can't see you. Switch it on.
Yeah, I switched off my video, so I can't be on video.
Oh, somebody switched off your video. Let me see. Can I switch it on?
It's saying you can't start your video because the host has stopped it.
Okay, 1 second. Let me see. Okay, here. Did this do anything? You're the last one. I'm not taking any more because I've realized nobody's listening to a word of what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can see myself now.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'll be doing much better, but Janki ji, one goal
Uh-huh.
and Shraddha. So there is no way that he is not going to reach enlightenment. And once he reaches enlightenment, it is Krishna or enlightenment. It's one and the same.
10 more for you, Aditi. Okay, Seema has said something. What has Seema said? Gosh, this thing is disappeared. When you have Shraddha, you will achieve because consistency is there. Seema, the question is, why is he putting himself into it? He is saying, I will keep your consistency going. Now, Omkar and Ashya, if you put their two answers together somewhere, no, Bharat, you're also wrong. Bharat, you get to do 100 Uthak Baitaks. What is this? Nobody is listening. Manoj, how will Krishna keep us on path if we have Shraddha? Yes, Manoj, that's the question. How will Krishna keep us on the path if we have Shraddha? If we have Shraddha, we don't require him to keep us on the path, number one. Number two, the self is the enlivening principle. It doesn't do anything. Hill Murli Swamiji has already written the commentary. I'm only explaining it. So you can read the commentary by A. Parthisarthi. So what does it mean? What does it mean that the self will keep your Shraddha going? Shilpa, you're going away. And you're showing us that you're going away. So at least switch your video off. Okay. So, what happened over here now? Who's the host? Why have you switched my video off? Okay. So, why does the self say that I will keep your Shraddha going? The self says that I will keep your Shraddha going in spite of the fact that he will not be keeping your Shraddha going because of the following reason. Each one of us does whatever we do to attain infinite happiness. And whatever we are doing, we will continue to attain and we will continue to work at we'll continue to work at, because what we're looking for is infinite happiness. So if you're looking for power, you'll go on and on. Omkar said groove, right? Who said groove? No, Ashya said groove. So the groove will go on and on. But the question is, why does Krishna say it will go on? Because what keeps it going on is our inherent desire for infinite happiness. Not for the infinite Omkar, but for infinite happiness. If you tell people you're looking for the infinite, they'll say no. But everybody is looking for infinite happiness. That means complete happiness in terms of quality and quantity, which means infinite happiness. So the self is the state of infinite happiness. So therefore the self can rightly say that I am keeping your Shraddha going. Why are we keeping the Shraddha going? Why are we working towards whatever we are working for? Because of our belief that by the obtaining of this thing, I will get I will go on and on and on and on and on until I get that infinite happiness. So if I'm seeking wealth, I'll seek more wealth. If I'm seeking power, I'll seek more power. If I am seeking whatever beauty, I'll seek more beauty. If I'm seeking knowledge, I'll seek knowledge. I'll go on and on and on and on and on about it. So why? Because of the quest for infinite happiness. The self is the state of infinite happiness. And therefore the state of infinite happiness says that I am keeping your Shraddha going. I hope it is clear now. Is it clear now? The state of infinite...
I have an objection
okay.
to the word infinite happiness.
Okay.
My logic is that there is happiness because there is unhappiness. In the sense of duality. When there is infinity, there is no duality. So why do we need to emphasize happiness? Infinity is what it is. There is no happiness or unhappiness. Because that duality ceases to exist.
So you're saying you can say infinity and you need not say infinite happiness. That's your point. Yes, you could say that, but it would not make sense to the person listening to you. Because the person listening to you will immediately say, no, I don't want infinity. So the answer to the question is, what is everybody looking for? Everybody is looking for happiness, but are they looking, so your answer is happiness firstly, but are they looking for a happiness that they'll get and they'll lose? No, they're not. They're looking for a happiness that they'll get forever. And are they looking for just a happiness which they'll get forever? No, they want a great happiness which they'll get forever. For instance, if I offer you some very mediocre food and tell you, I'll give it to you for the rest of your life, you don't want it. You want not only the happiness, you want the complete happiness. So what people are looking for is infinite happiness. And therefore, the state of infinite happiness says that. Now, in this, you could say the self is other things. The state is the state of infinite knowledge and infinite power and infinite love and infinite so many things you could say. But they would not be right in this context.
Okay, yes, I get it.
So, he says, whatever form a devotee seeks to worship, with Shraddha, I make that Shraddha of his unswerving.
Janki-ji, can I ask you?
Yes, go ahead.
Don't we say that he is Sakshi?
He is Sakshi, correct. Yes, he doesn't interfere in our things, yes.
Then how is he helping us?
That's what I just said, Preeti.
His grace is what is needed, which helps us to move ahead, isn't that?
Wrong, because his grace is universal. His grace is not preferential. It doesn't come to you and not me, or me and not you. His grace is universal. You will not achieve in spite of his grace if you don't have Shraddha. His grace is there. Everybody who is doing every foolish thing in the world has got his grace, because his grace is just universal. It's available equally to all. But we become achievers when we have Shraddha. So he is saying, I am going to keep that Shraddha going. So that doesn't make sense. Why would he keep our Shraddha going? And anyway, he is the enlivening principle. He is the inactive principle. He doesn't do things in our life. So then how can he make this statement? Because it is the state of infinite happiness that is keeping our Shraddha going.
But we have still not achieved the goal. How is it that we have achieved this state of happiness? We are still working towards the goal with Shraddha.
Yeah, so you want to achieve infinite happiness. Infinite happiness is pulling you, is drawing you, as it were.
Which is there in us.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yes, it is drawing you. It is making you continue doing that thing in your quest for infinite happiness.
So it is keeping us on the path, basically, keeping us consistently on the path.
Yeah.
We don't realize it, is it?
No, of course you know you're looking for happiness. You're doing everything you're doing for the sake of happiness. Why would you not know that? Okay, so what is
that
this?
means where does the intellect come in this? We have to use our intellect to understand that state of infinite happiness.
No, we will not stop doing what. This is not about sadhana. This is, remember, is pursuing other gods. So people are pursuing other things. And they will continue to do that thing because of their pursuit for infinite happiness. If you have the commentary, please read it, because I can see you are struggling to grapple with the ideas. So you may want to, sort of listen to it again or read it in the commentary.
Okay, we will do that. Okay. Next time, if there is any confusion,
yes, please do. So Manoj says that self will keep us going if we have Shraddha. Since self is a state of infinite happiness, and since we all strive towards happiness in material things, power or spirit, so we'll keep moving towards that stage, and is interpreted from the answer. Correct, Manoj, you got it this time. So next time I ask you, I hope you'll be able to answer it properly. Aditi, what did you want to say?
Shanti-ji, the only thing I really can't understand is how can you get infinite happiness if your goal is towards something finite or something worldly?
No, you won't get it. Who told you you'll get it?
So, in example, like if you're trying to pursue your goal towards beauty or towards physical this.
No, you won't get it. We are not saying you'll get it. We are saying what keeps you consistent is your belief that you will get it.
So in case if I'm moving towards it and I get that goal, whatever I wanted, obviously again I'm still not going to have infinite happiness.
Yes, correct.
Still I'm doing the worldly goal. So
Wait, Aditi, concentrate. You are not going to get it. This is not about getting it. This is about what is keeping the consistency going. Please read it carefully. What is keeping the consistency going is your desire for infinite happiness. So even if you want to become beautiful and you become beautiful, so you're not going to say, okay, great, I'm beautiful. You will want a little more beauty or a little more power or a little more whatever else it is you were hunting for. So that is what is keeping the Shraddha going. Nobody's talking about anyone getting happiness here.
got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Janaki.
Deepak. Is there a correlation between intellect and Shraddha? Does increase in intellectual capacity also power one Shraddha? Yes, Deepak, there is a correlation. You have to have an intellect to have Shraddha, because intellect is your capacity to govern your mind. Shraddha is your capacity to stay consistent with something. So if you can't govern your mind, you can't stay consistent with something. You will every day have a different view on the matter. Okay, so we're done with the questions. Alright, so we're just summarizing what we have done so far. So then, oops, we have so many verses still to go of summary. So then when you have that Shraddha, you will reach your goal. That's what verse 22 says. Endowed with that Shraddha, he seeks the worship of that form, and from it he fulfills his desires, these being verily ordained by me alone. So if you have the Shraddha, you will get whatever it is you have chosen to pursue and thereby fulfill your desires, and these are verily ordained by me alone, meaning that your insatiable desire for happiness will make sure that this happens. So if you notice that he says, I am the creation of the desire, I am the maintenance of the desire, and I am the fulfillment of the desire. He has just divinized all our material pursuits, because in the Vedantic tradition, we don't segregate material pursuits, we just incorporate everything into divinity. Everything is divine. We don't take the stance that, those silly sinners and those silly horrible people who will never have redemption. We take the stance that it's all divine. Okay, so even when we're doing very stupid things, it is still divine, because everything here is divine. But, okay, so you will achieve that. Because of your Shraddha, you will achieve that. But what? Antavattu phalam tesham. Antavat means something having an anta. Now, Sanskrit is so beautiful that the word itself tells you something. Antavat means finite, okay? But vat is a pratyaya which gives you something having something. So, some other Sanskrit scholars. So vat is a pratyaya which gives you, a pratyaya means a suffix which tells you that it has it. Okay, like dhanavat or jnanavat, so you have that thing. So antavat is something having an anta. So in English you call that finite, but in Sanskrit it's antavat, something which has anta. It's simple, something that has an end. So antavattu phalam, tu is indeed, antavattu indeed, phalam tesham, their fruit is indeed finite, alpamedhasam, because of the small intellect. What is small intellect? Small intellect is an intellect that cannot see very distant into the future, cannot see very distant into causation. So whenever your intellect is small, like a baby's intellect is very small, so a baby takes on very stupid actions sometimes. You don't call them stupid, but more innocent actions. Why does it take up these innocent actions that are harmful to itself and harmful to others? Because alpa buddhi. So all these people who did all this, remember, they pursued other gods, means they pursued something other than the self. They stuck with it with Shraddha. Who is that tennis champion who won 7 times? Boris Becker, right? Where is Deepa? Deepa Boris Baker, right? So what happened after that? He was, he tried to commit suicide. Antavattu phalam teshan. What? Everybody is dying to become Wimbledon champion. It is the dream of everybody. This fellow has become champion like more times than anybody else. And all he wants is to commit suicide? Don't you see this happening? Are we blind that we can't see this? How many of the film actors and actresses that everybody is a celebrity, you know, you can go running because a celebrity has come. Yeah, really? You think that they are just thrilled and delighted with life? Are we blind that we can't see? Do you know that Liz Taylor would sue anybody who photographed her? No? Can you just imagine? Are we blind that we can't see? Antavattu phalam tesham. Tesham means of them. Antavat. Antavat means ending. Phala, fruit. Antavattu phalam tesham. Their fruit is ending. Why? Tat bhavati alpamedhasam. Alpa means small and medha is intellect. So medhasam is those who have a small intellect. So finite is the fruit, an ending fruit, a going away fruit is what he would have worked for. Sad, no? I hope you can feel the sadness that that person will feel when he has worked so hard. I hope you can feel the incompleteness, the misery that Boris Becker may have felt, that he would actually want to commit suicide. Can you feel it for him? Only if you can feel it for him will you learn that I'm not going down that way. I'm not going down that way. How many? Have you felt the pain that Juliet has when she thinks that Romeo has died? Have you felt that pain? If you have felt that pain, if you have empathized with that pain, if you can understand how bitter it is, how miserable it is, then you will know that if I choose something which is antavat, which is finite, that is what is going to happen to me. I can't bear the pain when somebody else is going through it. What am I going to do when I go through it? Antavattu phalam tesham tat bhavati alpamedhasam. Alpamedha, small intellect, will seek for small things. And when we seek for small things, we get small things. In our innocence, in our ignorance, that's what we are doing, just like the children are doing when a child reaches its arms out to climb over the parapet wall of the balcony, right? What can the child see? He can only see some beautiful bird or some beautiful tree, and she thinks I'll just climb over the parapet wall and then I will get that beautiful tree and that beautiful bird or whatever it is she sees. But what are the parents doing? The parents will go berserk. They say, oh my God, pull her off that parapet wall, pull her off. Why? What is it that they know that she doesn't? She is alpamedhasam. She is one with an alpa buddhi, with a small buddhi. So she cannot understand that my climbing on this parapet wall is going to lead me where? This is antavat. Don't go there. She can't understand it. Yes, Jyoti?
Hariom Janki, if that tennis player and Liz Taylor, if both of them were pursuing the same thing but selflessly, then they wouldn't be suicidal, right?
I don't know what you mean by pursuing the same thing selflessly. Pursuing the same thing and selfless are two different things. You can say that maybe, you can say that yes, the person was using becoming a Wimbledon champion as his path towards self-realization. Then he would have been happy regardless of what happened. Yes, you can say that, but you can't say they were doing the same thing, because they won't be. They're doing a different thing. They may be using this championship or whatever. Each one has our own swadharma, right? Somebody is a tennis player, somebody is an actor, somebody is a teacher, somebody is a IT engineer, somebody is whatever. We all have our own abilities. So we have to work through those abilities for self-purification. Now, if you do it like that, in the way that he has prescribed, then of course, then we will become the star, we will become the celebrity, we will become all these wonderful things, whatever the world craves for, and we will sleep peacefully at night, and we will reach self-realization. What else do you want? This is what he's promised, but we are not listening to him. We are listening to, I don't know what. Okay, so Deepa, recent example is top designer Kate Spade, who committed suicide. Oh, sad, poor thing. Okay, then Bharat, you have something to say?
So even the pursuit of finite things requires a lot of intellectual application. So how is it that that intellect fails us so miserably when we see other finite pursuits ending so badly?
Because the intellect is only being applied to how to obtain something. It is not being applied to whether that thing should be obtained. That is a higher level of objectivity, right? So a certain amount of objectivity is involved to just say, okay, I want X, now how do I go about getting it? Okay, but you need a higher level of objectivity which comes with knowledge that says, I want X, should I pursue X? Okay, because I'm like, what is that lady's name, that foolish lady who had a terrible, Indrayani Mukherjee, thought at some time that I probably, okay, it's sub judice, so we should not be talking about it, but let us say for argument's sake that she thought that I should kill this Sheena Bora daughter of mine. Then what did she start thinking? How shall I do it in such a way that nobody will find out? How shall I do it in such a way that I can execute this? This is what she's thinking. But is she asking the question, should I do it? That requires more objectivity. So the level of objectivity, the level of intellect that helps you achieve a desire, you need something more to ask the question, is this a desire worth achieving? You need more of it, in other words.
Thank you.
So, antavattu phalam tesham. Finite indeed is the fruit accruing to those of small intelligence. Devan devayajo janti. So those who want the devas, means the finite fruit. So go to the devas, they will get that. Mad bhakta yanti mamapi, my bhakta. My bhakta means those who want self-realization. Yanti, come to me. Those who want realization, those who want the infinite will reach the infinite. Those who want the finite will reach the finite. Those who reach the finite have reached the finite and will reach unhappiness. It's only a question of time. Those who want the infinite will reach the infinite, and when they reach the infinite, they will have complete happiness. Now you may say that, oh my God, who knows when I will reach the infinite and how far the infinite is? I can't be unhappy, so let me get the finite till then. This is wrong thinking, because every step we take towards the infinite, our happiness grows in geometrical proportions. Every step we take away from it, our unhappiness will grow in geometrical proportions. This is called the law of the harvest. The law of the harvest is that you sow a little bit and you get a lot, right? So you plant a few seeds and you plant one mango seed and you get so many mangoes out of it. It's the law of the harvest. In English, they also have this saying, you sow the wind, you'll reap the whirlwind. So what happens when you go towards the finite is every step of that journey is very bitter, and if you achieve the object, you feel very happy naturally. And that's what people do, no? They work to get something. Like, I've worked so hard to become a Wimbledon champion or to become a celebrity or to become, and they're very happy to have achieved that, but then they are accompanied by all the stress, and then eventually, because it's antavat, that thing goes away and they are unhappy, or they're unhappy because they get so used to it that it no longer gives them any pleasure. They're just bored with those things. So people who have worked so hard in Mumbai to buy a flat, for instance, they bought a flat and they went crazy with the EMIs and whatever. They got the flat, okay, everything they did. Then what? Then they're thrilled and delighted. They had housewarming, they called all their friends and all that sort of thing. Life is going on very well. Then afterwards, what happens? Bored with it. Now you want another one, better one, a bigger one. All that goes on. So the pursuit of the finite is sad, and sad. So either you lose the object, or you're bored with, or you don't lose it and you're bored with it, or you don't lose it and you just want something else. So you leave it and you go off somewhere. So all this happens when you're pursuing the finite, but when you start pursuing the infinite, every step we take in that direction just starts unfolding a better and better life for us. Okay, so that's what he's saying. Worshippers of the gods go to the gods. Likewise, my devotees come to me. We will continue next time. Hari Om.
Thank you, Janki.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Janki.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Janki.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Janki.
Hari Om, Reshma.
Thank you, Janki ji. Thank you, Janki ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Arun. Hari Om, Neha.
Hari Om, Janki ji. Thank you so much.
Hari Om.